Hello, everyone. Yeah, sorry, I think it's a minute late, so sorry. Technical issues. Just trying to get. I mean, I know it's been about a year now. I'm just trying to make sure that I still get aligned. So forgive me. Tried my best to be here on time, but sorry about that 1 minute late. All right, so happy to be here. This is the Dr. Ini Adesanya show, and on this platform, I help small and medium-sized enterprises or SMEs or small and medium-sized businesses thrive. We just want to make sure that they're not just surviving, but they're thriving. Of course, this is a platform for informative and educative information only. I just provide some resources here and then. Of course, you can take that to your professional, of course, or to yours truly, and see how that will fit in to your, with your, plans, and just making sure that your the plans, when I say your plans, your objective, your goals, and making sure that you're not just surviving but thriving, of course. Um, excuse me. Just a shout out to everyone that's watched, commented, complimented, all those good stuff. Really appreciate all of you. I know that you don't have to be here. You could be watching something else, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. So just wanted to say, kudos and really appreciate you all. So today I have another interesting topic. I know I mentioned this in my last show, and I said, you know what, I'm going to talk about this. I think there was a question, and I said I'm going to mention and expand on that. Okay, so today I'm going to give you 8 steps to move away or to get out of, I would say, to move from your business plateau, right? 8 steps or 8 ways to move from your business plateau, right? So what is a plateau? What happens when I say a business plateau? Sometimes businesses, of course, great thing, they grow, they do well, but sometimes it's like there's a flat line. There's no sales growth. There's nothing happening. It's just from, maybe it could be from month to month. You see nothing significant that, okay, this has happened, right? It's just at one level, it's stagnated, it's stagnant, right? And so, it's a bit frustrating, right? And you're wondering, okay, why am I not moving up with revenue? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get better and better, increase revenue, right? So, we should just find, why? What's the problem? That's what you should ask yourself, right? Great, your business has grown. Awesome. You started your small or medium-sized business, right? Doing well. Pat yourself on the back. I'm giving you a round of applause, which is very awesome. But the issue is you're just stagnated right now. You're wondering, what can you do, right? I know that in the last show I mentioned some, broadly, right? But I just said, you know what, let me zero in on a couple of pointers, right? A couple of points that, you can look at and see, okay, maybe this is the issue. Maybe I have to do this. Maybe I have to do that, right? So of course, when I give these points, right, or 8 ways or 8 pointers, whatever you want to call them, but I just said 8 ways, right, to move from just having your plateau, to move away from that, right? Away from that. And of course, these pointers are not exhaustive. Of course, I'm sure there are more. There are even others, but I just decided to pick up these 8 points. Research, my knowledge, my, just based on my experience, right? Okay, the very first way, right, is to change your business model. Now, I have a whole show on business model. I have a show on business model. And so I would advise you, I'm not sure of the date of the show, but I would advise you to actually go in and look at, or go and watch that show on, improving your business model. So I would say that one of the things that you should do, right, is to look at your business model. What is it? So business model, when you're looking at your business model, you're looking at, right, what are you actually doing, your operations, what do you bring to your customer, right? Or your clients. So you're going to sit back and look at what that business model, right? Very important to look at it. So when you look at the business model, of course, you can see that maybe there's something that you need to tweak or change, or, and that's what it, that's when I'm what I'm referring to as a business model. So look at it and see. That's what I would say the first way is, what is your business all about, right? What is it like? What is it offering? How are you making this profit? So you have to sit back and say, okay, great, great, way, that you're already doing, right? You're doing well, but you're stagnated. So go back. First step, I would say, as always, go back and look at your business model, but as always, talk to your professional accountant, or, whoever you want to speak with, all right, when you're looking at the business model. Now, the second would be the business plan. But you say, but we're just talking about the business model. Is very different from the business plan. The business plan, of course, are your goals, objectives. What are you, what's happening there? What are you looking at? Now, when you're looking at your business plan, I would say take a closer look, right, at your products. Take a closer look at, everything that you have projected, your goals. Is there any way you can shift? Is there, is one product, what's happening there with your products? Or, because the business plan is really all encompassing when it comes to how your business, your goals, objectives, all those things, strategy, everything. So I would say sit back and look at, I'm going to pick up expand on some areas, but in the next few steps, or the next few ways, but pick up your business plan, go back to it, right? Of course, I believe I have a show on that too, explaining the business plan or the benefits. I believe I do have that. But if I don't, I will have to check, because I can't remember all the topics I've handled. But just go back and look at it. Some of you might not have had a business plan before you started the business, but there is nothing wrong with going back to draw up a business plan. Sometimes people feel that business plans are just for, when you want to business plans are just when you want to get a loan or things like that. It's not bad to have a business plan to get a loan, but sometimes you need it to go back to the drawing board, look at yourself, when I say yourself, I'm talking about your entity, right? Look at it and see, okay, these are the objectives, these are the goals, am I meeting it, right? Now, even when I talk to people on hiring staff, one thing I always tell them that, because I've seen people that say, oh, and this is sometimes typical for small and medium-sized businesses, not really. Large businesses have everything in place, right? So small and medium-sized, some, not all, some people are good job, great job, but there's some that they are really laid back like a discount, because, right, it's their business, right? They own 100% of the business, so, right? Or maybe they have a partner with, it's just their business. They don't feel any pressure because they're not reporting to anybody, right? So they're a bit laid back, right? So a business plan would help you to really look at your goals, look at your objectives, look at what are you looking at, to achieve, right? And, look at the products you're selling, dig in deeper, right? And see what you're actually doing. And, is there anything that you can tweak, and change around, or, because obviously before you start a business, you already have something in mind, right? So you've started this business now. Go back and look at, there are so many templates for business plans. There's nothing to worry about. And of course, as I said, work with a professional. Yours truly is always here. Can actually go and look, consult with my practice, and we can, go ahead and work with that, right? Okay. The next way is marketing strategy fail, right? I would say marketing, let me not say this is the fail is reason for the plateau, but let me not remove fail, the marketing strategy. So many times, your marketing, there's no defined strategy. Like personally, I'm not a marketer, right? I just do these videos here and there, that, or the show that, anybody that wants to come forth. And then of course I have some referrals that, and then I have I know I'm still working on some kind of marketing plan, right? But the strategy, right, I would say makes a big difference in marketing. I mean, very big difference. What is your strategy? Now, sometimes you have strategies that are not working, and you're paying so much money. You're paying so much money to them for marketing, but you're not seeing the back end. I mean, you're not seeing any results. Then sometimes you've been paying these funds for a couple of years now. So look into your marketing strategy. If it's just maybe it got you to a certain level, which is awesome. But what about what gets you from that level to move forward? All right. So the marketing strategy is very important. You're looking at what can you do to move from that plateau to another level, to the next level. So, go back, analyze the marketing strategy, and of course, if you do not have that knowledge base of work, the marketing knowledge base, it's good to work with a professional also, because and you might say, oh, but I'm already working with a professional. Then maybe that professional is not for you anymore. you know, Maybe, or it could be that your needs, or let me not even say it that way, because you might say, oh, doesn't mean that I have to tell that person to leave. No, you might even, sometimes people just assume and say, you know what, you're the marketing person, take care of it. It's time for you to have a meeting and say, okay, because your marketing strategy has to align with your business model, it has to align with your business plan. They have to align. It's not something that you say, oh yeah, the person knows. No, the person might know what your goals and objectives generally, but specifics, all right? Specifics would drive your marketing strategy. So it's very important for you to understand, specifics. What are we looking at as per, the marketing strategy? What is it? And, where are we now? This was good at this point, but now we're trying to move forward. So the marketing strategy is very important. Dig into it, find out what is been the same strategy, or maybe one aspect of that strategy has been there. Or maybe you are in the marketing strategy, for example, you might say, you know what, we're spending so much money in this area of marketing, but we're seeing more results in this other area of marketing, right? So let's channel funds and boost the area of marketing that we're seeing more revenue coming from, right? If you haven't done this before, it's very important that when people either buy from your website, or maybe when somebody sends somebody to you, it's important to ask, how did you hear about us, right? It's important. I know that people think that when these big companies ask about that, so yeah, I just want another question. No, it's actually a way that they can say, okay, they will say that, okay, what more people are getting to us because they're seeing us on this particular marketing platform, but we are not getting many people on that particular marketing platform. Because of that, there's no need to invest so much. Maybe they were investing equally. There's no need to invest so much on that. Maybe we can put more funds on this marketing strategy that's bringing more money, or maybe this social media platform. That's an example. Now, you cannot, or you will not know that if you don't sit down and look at the logistics, look at the it's not what do they call it, logistics, or look at the analytics, yeah, analytics, to look at it and see where is it that what works, right? So that is really marketing strategy, right? Seeing where you can tweak. Remember, for you to get to that plateau stage, you've already, it's like you're doing well. It's not like you're doing badly, right? You're not like you're doing badly, but it's just that now, that marketing strategy is for you to go back and say, we can tweak it here. This is where we're getting the more money. This way, and then, pump more funds into the area that would bring more money, right? Right. Okay. The next one is technology. I've spoken on technology severally under different topics, but I'm drawing it into this topic because technology is very important. Technology allows you to do better. Now, assuming that you're on this level because you have sat and maybe you just feel comfortable with old technology, right? Meanwhile, there's technology that maybe 5 years ahead of you, but you're not using it for your industry. Now, you have to also be careful because I will encourage you to watch my show on how to choose a good technology for your for your business. So, I mean, but I want to highlight one aspect, the cost, actually two, cost benefit analysis. Now, please don't because you want to move up from that plateau, go and spend so much money on technology when you're not seeing the benefit of it. Technology is fantastic, but you have to weigh the cost, right? There's some good technology out there that are very expensive, but you have to weigh, right? Do you really need that highly expensive technology, or you can use something that is less expensive, and still achieve the same objectives, right? The cost benefit analysis. Under technology, I also want to say the other, I mean, there are several that I mentioned and in that show about choosing the right technology for your business. At least something like that. That's some similar topic. I think that's is in that line, technology. You can look for it in my when choosing, I mean, in the show list of videos on the shows. All right. So another thing I want us to note, I always talk about going and looking at what your industry, people in your industry. That's why I feel that it's important for you to go for meetings, find out what's happening out there. People in your industry, what are they actually using, right? That's the technology. What is happening? What are they actually using? Now, it's important for you to note, even though you're in the same industry as somebody, you might not actually use 100% the same, need 100% the same technology as that person, right? It just depends, right? Maybe you're in the same industry, but this person has some kind of product, or maybe the same, industry, but there's some additional features that company requires that you don't require. You don't require, in your with the technology that you need to move to the next level for your business. Of course, again, as I said, if a show on that, please go and look at the pointers. But these are the two that really come to mind. Of course, the other points are important. But when I look at this technology and I look at how people, the downside is that people don't even want to get into it, or people don't want to upgrade the technology to use for their business. And technology can be used for several reasons, right? Product distribution, right? Even in marketing, there are some technology you can use that is very, very good for marketing, right? There's so many technology can be used to make things fast, fast pace, things like that. So, and of course, when time is money, saving money by getting a technology that works is actually a great advantage, right? A great advantage, right? Because you're saving, reducing costs also increases profit. All right. So look into technology. Remember, looking at 8 ways, right, to move from that business plateau, growth plateau, moving away from that. Okay, that's the goal of this show today. All right. So we talked about technology. The fifth is price increase. I know somebody might say, but you know what? I've had these customers for so long, I don't want to increase my prices. Well, and then there's actually a show on how to increase your prices, right? I understand you had this customer so long, right? And which is good. But I want you to also look at, because remember, in a business, there's cost, right? And there's revenue, right? There's expense and revenue. Now, a lot of times we don't realize it, and that's why it's very important for you to sit back and analyze some of these things with a professional. If it's not your field, there are so many times that we look at prices, right? And we say, oh, we don't want to increase, but yet we are paying for an increase in expenses on our own part. All right. We're paying for increase in expenses on our own part, right? So you have a product, it could be something that you manufacture, for example. Let's say it could be a small business manufacturer, maybe put something together. I could say maybe a wreath, right? But you have to buy all those ribbons, all those things to put the wreath together to sell. what, all those beautiful things, right? And you go to a store to buy those products, right? I'll be surprised if those products you bought were at the same price or at the same price as when you bought it, let's say 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? I'll be surprised, right? So if your products to make, are increasing, and then you might say, oh, no, no, my I am more of clients. I'm more of the kind that speaks to clients. I'm not, or I deal with clients. I don't have. I'm a service industry. I don't produce things, right? I don't produce things. Okay, let's talk about if you're the service industry. Of course, right? Your rent. I'll be surprised if you've been in the service industry for 5 years and your rent still remains the same. I'll be surprised, right? You might say, oh yeah, what about the cost of utilities, right? What about the cost of even gas? You might say, I drive to places, right? There's so many. I mean, even if you say, okay, I work from home, okay, technology. I mean, remember, you're the owner of the business, right? Technology, so many things increase. Maybe you want to change your laptop. Of course, it's never the same price as 5 years ago, right? And of course, even if you work from home, what about as I said, utilities, all kinds of things. Even if you're renting, right? And you're using, usually, I said, rent. If you're renting, usually the price would definitely, cannot remain the same for 5 years. I'm just saying. So, so when you're looking at the price increase, of course, you have to be careful. Don't say that, oh, I was selling something of $100. Now I'm going to sell the product for 150. No, I'm not talking about that kind of price increase. I'm talking about price increase that is sensible and reasonable, right? Well, let me not say sensible because, let me use the word reasonable. All right. So I won't say sensible, I'll say reasonable. So, of course, as I said, there are so many dynamics that go into that. It depends. You have to do a lot of research, find out what's the best. And what I realized that people will pay if your product is good. They'll pay. Of course, as I said, you don't have to be outrageous in pricing, 150, 500 or something like that. Somebody, but if you just increase it here and there, of course, as I said, you have to do some analysis and find out what really works. All right. It's very important, but don't shy away from price increase. Don't do that because you're getting the other side of increase, paying more money out of your pocket for expenses. So don't shy away from price increase. All right. So, but of course, you have to do it well, do it properly so that it will not really scare your customer away, right? Customers away. Of course, I know your product is good. And another thing that people do within this price increase or within the price stability is that they end up not providing the standard, the quality of products that they are supposed to provide. Don't do that, please, because at the end of the day, even if you keep it at that certain price and you produce products that are not supposed to be, products that are not good, at the end of the day, people will still leave you. So it's better for you to have your standard, and then also increase, pricing reasonably. All right. So the next one is diversify. Diversify. Now, I have spoken about this somehow in a larger length, but I just want to highlight it here. I actually expanded on this, I would say. Now, look at your business. Although I know when we're talking about business plan and all those products and business model, but sit back and look at what you're bringing to the table. What are you doing, and what can you add something to diversify? Is there something that you can add? Is there something that you can add to diversify? Is there something that we can, put out there that you want to add to, what you're already doing, right? There's so many ways that you could diversify, but again, it depends on so many conditions when it comes to your business. We have companies, large companies that they call it, they expand, is it vertically or horizontally? Vertically, maybe they actually buy the company that actually supplies them with raw materials so that they don't have to go through the middleman. It comes directly from them. So there's no markup, right? There's no profit. They just buy it, and that cost of the middleman for them to buy it from the manufacturer, the raw material provider, and the raw material provider will give them add a percentage, and then have to they will have to then pass it to the customer, but that cost will be reduced, right? So diversify, it could be something like that. Maybe, or it could be, well, maybe that might be far-fetched because it's a large company, but of course we're working towards that large company. But just think about it, diversify. You might say, you know what, let me give an example of how to diversify. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Diversify. Let me look at for okay, I know people that actually are into hair. They do make hair, and they have their own product line. They had their own product line for hair. Yeah. So when people come to see them to make their hair, style their hair, they actually use their product line and they also sell it to their customers. All right. See how, because what the person started with was actually making hair, right? Making hair. Then the person, I know someone specifically that actually, went and got oils, got some oils and can produce hair products. I mean, I don't know where they make this hair product, but because I mean, anybody that wants to do hair uses hair products, right? For another example is when I think this person, I believe that there's another example just related to, okay, makeup. This lady does makeup. She has her own makeup line, right? So things like that, diversify. It could be anything. But again, it's good to sit with a professional to see which areas you can really diversify depending on what you do, right? It's good for you to diversify in areas that really relate to what you're doing. I mean, it's easier. I mean, I know someone even that, again, makeup, that she has an eyelash line. So, that's really huge because they buy the eyelash, to use, right? It just depends. So there's so many, but just look at your business and see what works. The seventh is look at your competition. Now, why is your competition moving up, moving up? You see their sales really going high, right? So find out what are they doing. And it's nobody, I'm not talking about, we have some people, so let's go and spot. No, if you see by their review what they're doing, how they're going about things, you see. Look at your competition. I mean, why is this person doing well and you're not doing that well, right? It could be somebody says, oh, let's say maybe they're into, for example, maybe their customer service is fantastic, right? Fantastic, and keeps on bringing people back. What is it that makes them excellent, right? Maybe their products are so good. What is it that makes them excellent? I know customer service, when it comes to any product, is huge. People even stop going to places because of bad customer service. So I will say, look at your competition. What is it that you are seeing that you are not doing, but they are acing it? They are doing it very, very well. So look at your competition is very important. What is it that we're seeing? All right. All right. So that your competition, they're doing really great, but you are just stagnant, stagnated. Why? What's happening there? So dig in, find out, look at their reviews, find out if there's something, because let's say maybe their customer service is really good. Then find out, okay, is there something you can tweak in customer service? Is there somewhere you can change that for yours to be better? All right. Or it could be anything. I'm just picking one aspect that could be the reason why your competition is doing better, right? It could be their delivery, their timely, right? Ease of use of the website. It could be anything. Sometimes, I go to, I know that as an accountant, a CPA, we have to use technology, but I've seen technology that is so user-friendly, right? So user-friendly. Now, imagine there are two let's say I want to pick from two products. One gives a lot, like a lot of, they give a lot of, let's see, one of them gives like a lot of, let's say the app or maybe that software gives, they have a lot of, what should I say, sub products, or they have a lot that you can get from that software. Okay, let's say a lot, things like that. But I come to this one that maybe not so many, but is user friendly. I don't have to become a rocket scientist or somebody that, oh my goodness, to really understand how that product works. Simplicity. I mean, we all are very busy. So, I mean, if a product is easy for me to understand and use, oh, come on, that's what I will go for. Of course, the product has to be good. I'm not saying, but a lot of time to learn, to teach you, to get, and then remember, it's not only you. If you have a team, they have to understand how that works too. All right. So I would say, look at your competition. What is it that they're doing that you're not doing? What is it that you can do better? Right. And then, just look and find out, right, what's happening there. And then the eighth, right? And of course, this is the order I put it in. You can put it in any order. And of course, as I said, it's very important for you to work with a professional. So the eighth way I would say to move away or move out of business, the growth plateau is to look into financing options, right? Now, because I talked about technology, I talked about marketing, things like that, right? It's very important for you to look into financing, right? See, with all these goals that you have and changes, that maybe you can't really afford it, right? Maybe you can tweak it here and there. And, like I said about the marketing strategy, you can move from a place that is not really doing so. I mean, like you're not really getting customers or clients from there to a place that you're really getting customers and clients. All right. So, look into options if you have to. Of course, there are so many options. You can, there are so many options out there providing, getting, soft financing. I know that there's so many SME, small and medium-sized enterprise loans out there. Most places around the world, small and medium-sized businesses hold the economy. So most places. So there are a lot of soft loans out there. It's important for you to look into that to see if it's something that you can benefit from. Of course, work with your professional, work with your accountant to see if that's something that you can benefit from. Because again, it's great for you to see that. And of course, if you don't need that financing, please don't do that. If you don't need the financing, there's no need for you to actually get it. If you can navigate this without that financing, kudos, right? But if you do need, make sure you're looking at financing that also is beneficial, not financing that has a high interest rate. That is a no thing for you, because you don't want financing that would actually really negatively affect your business, right? You don't want that the kind that you're not even, all your expenses cannot be met because you're looking into ways to pay off this loan. So make sure, that's why I would continue to say, work with a professional to look at what are your options for financing. Is there something out there? And then, you can work with a professional to say, okay, yeah, this might work, right? Based on your goals and objectives, right? And of course, yours truly, I'm there to actually listen and see what works for you if you don't have an accountant that is currently working with you. All right. So let's go to some of our questions for today, and let's see if I can clear some of them. Okay, the first question I have is, I'm planning to buy a car for my business. I understand that there are credits available for electric cars. Is that true? Yes, and yes, there are credits available for electric cars, but there are limitations. There are conditions that apply. So if you're asking me if there are credits for buying electric cars, yes, that's an answer, yes. But if you're asking if the car you're going to buy qualify, or if there's some exceptions here and there, I would say conditions apply. So even though you can get some credit for an electric car, it depends on the car. It depends on so many conditions. So I would say that yes, there are credits available for electric cars, but you have to really check which applies, what applies to the vehicle that you want to buy for your business. All right. So if somebody wants to buy a vehicle and wants to go with electric cars, or even, make sure that you're looking at, what really applies, right? Yeah, there's so many benefits out there, but it's just not a blanket benefit. You have to really look at what really applies. All right. Um, again, working with a professional, right? Okay. The second question is, I commute to my place of employment, but I also have a side business. Can I deduct my car expenses? Um, so the answer is, um, let me actually say it depends. That's my answer. Why do I say that? Any expense, any gas expense, any vehicle expense to your place of employment, commuting expenses are not deductible. All right. Now, for your side business, if your side business is, you're driving out of the house or driving from your office to any location, and driving from your home to any location for your business, yes, you can deduct that percentage, the miles and the expenses related to that, the mileage for the business. All right. So I would say make sure you track your mileage for business. All right. The mileage, if you're driving, let's say, first of all, from your home to the business place, right? That is deductible. From your business place to the office, well, that office, remember, office, anything commuting to the office is not deductible, because you're going to the office, is a W-2 employment. You cannot, is a W-2 work. So you cannot take a deduction for commuting, right? But you can take a deduction for business, all right? Okay, I know somebody might ask, oh, but you heard that it's 50% unless you use your business, your car for somebody I can imagine maybe somebody out there is asking, but I thought only if you use your car about 50%, your personal car, or 50% of the business, you can deduct it. That's not true, right? Even no matter how many miles that you use for business, you can deduct, but there's certain, certain tax benefits, that you cannot get if you drive um, less than 50% for business, right? There's certain that you can't get, but I'm not, again, there. I don't want to go into, analysis and things like that. But of course, you can always find time to contact, my practice, and then we can go through that. But just know that commuting expenses are not deductible if they are related to employment. That's commuting. But drive expenses for the business, yes, right? When you drive for the business, yes, that is deductible. All right. The third question. All right. Okay, we still have a little time. I'm going into a business, and I'm trying to decide my niche. I've heard that the narrower your niche, the better. Is that true? Well, I'm not a marketing expert, but from my experience, I've heard that too, right? So, I understand where, great marketers come from, because I work with marketers and I know through my own experience. If your niche is too wide, right? If you're saying that, okay, if you have it, if they're not, if you're, when I say niche, well, your niche, or then it goes to your target market, right? Niche is what, for those that don't know, is niche is what are you actually, that niche is what is it that you're actually selling or providing or services. For example, your niche might be hairdressing, your niche might be accounting, right? Your niche might be, might be, you're an attorney. Now, for the niche, right? If you're like an accountant, a lot of times we say that, what kind of accountant are you? I'm an auditor. Some people say I do everything. Well, sometimes people have sections, right? That, okay, we have people that handle auditing, we have people that handle tax, we have people that handle financial statements, right? That is a bit different. But usually, it's good to have a niche that is not so narrow, but it's easier to, the reason why I believe marketers say this, right, is because it's easier to adjust your product to meet that narrow niche. And the narrow niche, it doesn't, if you have people that are using your product, right, it's all about volume. right? And volume, if it's a niche, let's say for example, you have a product that is specific, right? And this specificity is for maybe dogs, right? Dogs, right? Maybe for puppies, or maybe it could be even, some people even say that, oh, it's for, yeah, certain breeds, or we might look at, okay, this might be a specific breed, but I would say that that's too, for me personally, I would say that's too narrow. I would say maybe dogs, something for dogs would be okay, I would say, but generally it just depends, right? So my answer to you is that, yeah, narrowing your niche is not bad, but not making it too narrow. I would say, I mean, I know some people are very successful when they have made it very narrow, and they're very successful because they just tailor that product to a specific, very small target market. So anytime that target market wants a change, they will quickly just make a change within their software, right? So that's for software, right? So it just depends, right? It could be for product, it could be, so niche, depending on how, narrow is good, but I don't know how narrow you're looking at. So, or anyone that has the same problem is looking at. All right. So that's what I would say. All right. I have another question, but let's see. Maybe I can actually fit this in. Let's see. Okay. My mom is a retired administrator. I'm thinking of hiring her for my business. Are there benefits in doing that? I would say, in fact, I'm going to even go beyond your mom. I would say, please, as much as possible, it's very good to hire family members. It's very good because when you hire family members, there are tax benefits. Yes. So for your mom, yes, there's a tax benefit for your mom. I believe it's FUTA. But again, it's very important for you to work with a professional and see what is the actual tax benefit. I believe it's FUTA that is exempt, but it's important. I believe that other conditions that apply. But yes, go ahead and hire your mom. I mean, there are other benefits. I mean, it's would be nice to have on payroll, and if she has been a retired administrator, that's not a bad thing to put on payroll. But of course, make sure you're checking, I don't want the kind that, some moms, I mean, might say, I mean, that you might say, oh, mom, this is not the way to go about this. And the person would say, really, say something that that is, oh, okay, you want to tell me what to do now, or something funny like that. I mean, I know it's funny right now, but I mean, you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. Let your mom, hopefully your mom is the kind that will say, okay, yeah, yes, okay, my dear, I understand my son, my daughter, that's fine. I'll correct it. I'll do the needful to make sure that is the right thing for me to do, right? That I will listen to you, not, oh my goodness, and not again. Is that what you want to correct me all the time? So yeah. So tax wise, of course, there are benefits, but make sure that mom is the kind that when she comes to the office, you'll say, okay, and you say, mom, this is the way to go about it. She say, okay, that's fine. I'll correct that. I'll change that. So but all smiling here. We love our moms so well, so much. So we're all smiling here. All right. So again, hope we got something today. Of course, my goal was actually to say, okay, is there a way that you can move away from being just on the platform of just being growth the plateau just there without just moving forward. We don't want that to happen, right? We want to make sure that you're not on that plateau. You're not there just to be average or just be existing, right? Remember, the platform here is to look for ways well, should I say ensure? Well, to try out at my best, I would say, to move you from surviving to thriving. And then remember, to do this, right, you have to be intentional. That's it. I could go on and on, but you just have to be intentional. Again, looking for a professional to work with, go to my website, driniadesion.com, and then you can navigate and set up an appointment with my firm. All right. Okay, thanks for being here tonight or this afternoon or this evening, all right, or this morning. Okay, see you next time. Bye for now.